You have to be a little bit crazy, and I think that's not just me. I think that's in every vertical and every discipline. You do something, you have to be a little bit crazy and obsessed with.
Shocking scenes erupt at the press conference as Rico Verhoeven completely loses control and slaps Oleksandr Usyk in a heated face-off. Security rushes in as chaos breaks out instantly and the atmosphere turns hostile. Fans are stunned as this rivalry explodes into real physical confrontation in front of everyone.
Listen, it's a fighter, you know. I feel on serious for this fight. I prepare the 100% discipline, control. But 23 in May, we look great fight.
Rico Verhoeven confidently warns Oleksandr Usyk that this fight is a completely different puzzle compared to anything Usyk has faced before. He claims his kickboxing angles, size and 125 kilo power will create real problems and force Usyk into situations he has never experienced inside a boxing ring before.
What I believe is that the puzzle of boxing, Oleksandr solves multiple times. Too many times already. And I think this is a puzzle he hasn't solved yet. So I'm gonna bring kickboxing angles, bring a different type of puzzle. And like I said, I'm a big unit. I'm like 125 kilos. So this is something that
Oleksandr Usyk stays ice cold under pressure as he dismisses all the noise around this heated situation. While tensions are rising outside the ring, Usyk keeps his focus locked on preparation and discipline. This calm mindset shows why he remains one of the most dangerous and composed fighters in the sport today.
No, it's not pressure for me. Listen, it's just fight. It's a boxing fight. It's a normal. I prepare for this fight. Everything.
Eddie Hearn raises serious concerns as he watches the situation unfold around the fighter, suggesting there is visible struggle beyond the ring. While he still acknowledges the danger and ability, the focus shifts to the mental state and pressure building inside this explosive storyline.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't think...
Johnny Nelson highlights Oleksandr Usyk's dominance at the top level while shifting focus to the business side of boxing. Despite his success, questions are raised about financial motivation and big fight opportunities. This adds another layer to the ongoing narrative around high-risk, high-reward matchups.
Oleksandr, what he's done, he's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him, so he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now business.
Dave Allen shuts down the idea of a crossover clash, questioning whether Rico Verhoeven truly belongs at elite boxing level. While respecting his kickboxing legacy, he makes it clear this is a dangerous mismatch if taken seriously in the heavyweight boxing division.
I'm not interested in... I like Rico Verhoeven, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight...
Can he box?
Yeah, he can box, he's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple fact is...
Rico Verhoeven openly respects Oleksandr Usyk's dominance and compares him to himself at the top of kickboxing. He acknowledges Usyk's elite status in boxing, while teasing the idea of a crossover moment that would define both of their careers on the biggest stage.
And Oleksandr Usyk is the yeah, the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
Rico Verhoeven explains his calculated fighting style and power behind every shot, showing confidence as he transitions mindset into boxing. While he brings kickboxing dominance with him, questions remain how that power and timing will translate against elite boxing level pressure like Oleksandr Usyk.
I'm always like very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited.
Paul Smith questions the fairness of this matchup as he highlights the long queue of contenders waiting for their chance at Oleksandr Usyk. He suggests that while Usyk has earned respect and dominance, giving him crossover fights could frustrate ranked contenders. This creates a debate between legacy, opportunity, and entertainment value. On one side, Usyk deserves respect for his achievements. On the other side, boxing politics and rankings are being ignored for spectacle. It adds fuel to the controversy around this fight.
A kickboxer for a long time and not really done much in boxing at all to definitely to warrant a shot at Oleksandr Usyk when there's a queue so big. And
Indeed.
You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter their argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easier one after.
Spencer Oliver strongly criticizes the decision-making behind this potential matchup, pointing out Rico Verhoeven's limited boxing experience. He questions how someone with just one professional boxing fight can be placed in a position to challenge Oleksandr Usyk for a world title. This fuels the controversy around sanctioning bodies and their choices. Many fans and analysts feel the traditional ranking system is being ignored. It raises serious concerns about fairness, credibility, and whether entertainment is now taking priority over sporting merit.
This kid's had one bout as a professional boxer. You go, so, you know, how can he jump the queue and box Oleksandr Usyk for the WBC title? To me, that doesn't make any sense at all, and I think it makes a mockery, again, of the WBC.
Simon Jordan suggests there is a deeper financial and promotional strategy behind this crossover fight involving Oleksandr Usyk. He implies that nothing in modern boxing happens without strong business motivation. The mention of crossover success from other combat sports highlights how promoters are now chasing global attention and revenue. This raises the idea that Usyk's involvement is not just about competition, but also about expanding boxing's commercial reach. It adds a layer of business politics behind the chaos and drama of this matchup.
Little space, and I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works. But Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou.
Peter Fury acknowledges mutual interest from both fighters, suggesting that the matchup between Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk is not just hype but genuinely wanted from both sides. He refers to them as ultimate fighting men, highlighting their elite mentality and competitive nature. This adds legitimacy to the potential clash and shows that both camps are open to making it happen. It also reflects how quickly high-profile fights can be made when both athletes are willing, increasing anticipation among fans.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Fabio Wardley expresses mixed feelings about the matchup, respecting Oleksandr Usyk's right to choose but questioning the level of opposition. He suggests that while crossover fights bring attention, fans still want elite boxing matchups against top-ranked contenders. His comments reflect a wider debate in boxing about legacy fights versus spectacle fights. There is respect for Usyk's achievements, but also concern that the sport's competitive structure is being overlooked in favor of entertainment-driven events.
Dan, he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Van Hoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent calibre of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elites.
Ade Oladipo highlights the magnitude of Rico Verhoeven's legacy in kickboxing while acknowledging the shock factor of him stepping into Oleksandr Usyk's world. He describes Rico as one of the greatest in kickboxing history, moving from prince to king status, which shows how dominant he has been in his own sport. However, the transition into boxing raises serious questions about how his skills will translate under pure boxing rules. While respect is clear for his achievements, there is also curiosity and doubt about whether the dominance can survive against an undisputed level boxer like Usyk. The contrast between two elite but different combat worlds makes this matchup even more intriguing and controversial for fans.
Lomachenko versus Jason Sosa. On the road, bit of trouble, but comes through it. Enters the World Boxing Super Series, fights Marco Huck in Germany. Huck, who was probably past his best, but ran Myris Briedis, competitive prior to that fight. I think he fought Briedis in April of that year. Stops him brutally in 10 rounds, not even competitive. Goes to Latvia, fights Myris Briedis, very close fight, very competitive.
Liam Goff delivers a brutal criticism of the entire situation, calling it a gimmick fight and questioning the legitimacy of a world title being involved. He directly challenges Rico Verhoeven's boxing credentials, pointing out his extremely limited boxing record and suggesting he does not deserve a shot at Oleksandr Usyk. The argument focuses heavily on legacy versus money, implying that boxing is drifting away from merit-based competition. However, despite the harsh tone, it also shows how polarizing this fight has become. Usyk's name being tied to such debates only increases pressure and attention on him, as every decision he makes is now under global scrutiny.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money over legacy.
Peter Fury praises Rico Verhoeven's long-standing dominance in kickboxing, describing him as a true king of his sport with over a decade at the top. He emphasizes the level of experience and consistency Rico brings, suggesting he is not just a newcomer but a proven elite competitor. The crossover into boxing is seen as a natural evolution in his fighting journey due to his exposure to boxing training environments. However, the big question remains whether kickboxing dominance can truly translate into elite boxing success against someone like Oleksandr Usyk. This creates a fascinating clash of styles, experience, and discipline, making the fight unpredictable and highly discussed across combat sports fans.
This is the real kickboxing king, a heavyweight undisputed champion that's reigned for 12 years plus, at the top. So he's fought everybody. So now, he's had every kind of challenge, he's come through that, and with him being around me in boxing as well for so long, and knowing that he fancies.
Max Kellerman breaks down Rico Verhoeven's physical presence and long-standing dominance in kickboxing, while also reminding viewers that boxing is a completely different sport. He highlights Rico's size, strength, and elite reputation, which makes him a dangerous athlete in any combat setting. However, he clearly separates kickboxing from boxing, emphasizing that success in one does not automatically transfer to the other. This adds a reality check to the hype, especially when facing a technical and disciplined boxer like Oleksandr Usyk. The discussion reflects the ongoing debate about crossover fights and whether elite athletes from other combat sports can truly compete at the highest level in professional boxing.
All right, it's going to be Verhoeven's second professional boxing match. But guys, Verhoeven is 6'5", 270, and he is like the dominant champion in kickboxing. I used to watch kickboxing all the time. Growing up, if there was no boxing on TV way before the UFC, they'd like ESPN to have kickboxing on. I used to watch it, right? Chris, you have fought. Now look, it is not boxing, it's kickboxing.
Wade Plemines leans toward Oleksandr Usyk dominating the fight, but still acknowledges the unpredictable nature of heavyweight boxing. He points out that unexpected moments can happen, using past upsets to show why fans cannot fully rule out surprises. While he respects Usyk's elite status and higher level of competition, he also frames this matchup as more of an entertainment crossover event than a pure sporting necessity. The comment reflects the mixed reaction in the boxing world, where some see this as a fun spectacle, while others question its importance compared to Usyk's mandatory challengers in the heavyweight division.
In fact, I think the fight is going to be a fun one. I think Usyk's probably going to wash Rico, but hey, you never know. Francis walked in there, knocked down Tyson, jiggled his balls in his face, and ended up almost beating him. So yeah, I'll watch this. It's an entertaining.
This whole situation has turned into one of the most explosive storylines in modern heavyweight boxing, with Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua standing firmly at the center of the storm while Tyson Fury continues to demand control of the narrative. Usyk's calm confidence and proven elite-level experience only adds more weight to Anthony Joshua's position in this rivalry, especially when it comes to a potential mega fight that fans have been waiting years for. If Usyk and Joshua continue to align in mindset and belief, it puts serious pressure on Fury and shifts the momentum in a big way. But if the balance changes or someone like Rico Verhoeven disrupts expectations, the entire heavyweight landscape could flip overnight. At this point, it is no longer just talk, it is about legacy, dominance, and who mentally breaks first when the lights are brightest. Tyson Fury believes he dictates everything, but Usyk and Anthony Joshua together represent discipline, power, and structure that cannot be ignored. Now the only question left is simple. Who truly rules this era of heavyweight boxing, and who will step up when everything is on the line? Drop your opinion in the comments and subscribe for more heated boxing breakdowns like this.